Hello, 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 and welcome to Transformation Tuesday. Now, today I pray that your morning has already started off well, and I pray also that your week has started off blessed. Today we want to dive right in, and we're going to look at something in Genesis chapter 6, verses 13. This is what it says. It says, "And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth, and make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Now, I wanted to be able to read this because I needed us to understand something and see something that I know is going to help in what God is saying we all need in this context of when we are building. We need to make sure that when we build with a plan. Now, I know you're saying, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, in this storyline, what we see is before Noah started to build anything, God made sure that he took the time to give unto Noah a plan of how to be able to build it effectively. Now, we understand that in the New Testament, Jesus makes this statement, and he says that we should count the cost so that when we are building something, one, that we can make sure that we are finishing it, but also because you count the cost and because you have a plan, you won't fail in it. And if you fail, it's only because you have not planned or you have not taken the time to count the cost. And because of that factor, there will be men that make fun or laugh at you and say, look at this person that tried to start building something but could not finish it. And what that explains and says is the reason why is because we have not taken the time to start building with a plan. So I want us to be able to see some things that God gives to Noah in this context that will help us to be able to make sure, even in our own personal lives, no matter what area it might be, that we are doing it with a plan. Now, God gives unto him some plans. This is what he gives unto him: what to make, what dimensions there were, how many levels he wanted, who should enter in, and how many should enter in. I'm going to read this again. What he's supposed to be making, what is the dimensions of it, how many levels is to it, who should enter in, and how many should enter in. Now, let me ask you a question. How is your plan looking? Does your plan have these specific details? Does your plan have a detail of what you're actually trying to make, what you're actually trying to do? Are you trying to go to school? Are you trying to start a business? Or are you trying to get married? Or are you trying to do something in your ministry? Whatever that is, do you have what you're supposed to be doing? Do you have that actually written down? But let's go to the next. Do you have how large this might be? Do you have the dimensions? The dimensions for a room is very important. If you don't know your dimensions, you might make a closet thinking it's supposed to be a bedroom. But you have to know these things for you to be able to make sure that you're building accurately. But then you also need to know, how high does this thing going to be? How many levels are you going to go? If you're going to college, how many levels do you want? Do you just want a bachelor's, or do you want to go into a master's, or do you want your doctorate? All of those things are vitally important and understanding when you are trying to make a plan. But then he makes something I believe is very, very important. Who should enter in? This means who should be a part of what you're building? Who should be a part of this plan? Who are the things or what you're trying to house? If this is a business context, when you're planning this, who is the people you're trying to reach? Because reality is every business person is not trying to reach every person. They have a demographic. They have specific people that they're trying to reach. So in that mindset, you have to be able to understand who are the people that I'm actually trying to let in. But then how many can I handle? How many can I hold? How many can I take and still be able to do what I'm doing at the level that I'm doing it? And you have to have all of these things is a part of your plan. So as you go through your day on today, even as you do a day-to-day assessment, you need to make sure that you have a plan. God gave unto Noah a plan, but he also gave him something that I need all of us to be able to see and understand is in Genesis chapter 7, he gives unto him what I would consider as a deadline. Sometimes what we can do is we can create plans, but we don't give ourselves deadlines. We don't say we need this done by this time frame. But God in and of himself, when he had his plan, he also had a deadline of when he wanted it to be done by. This was not going to be forever in a day. You were going to have all these years and time to be able to build. No, he had a specific deadline of when this needed to be done, so that when everything was completely built and done the way that he planned, then he can be able to do what he was wanting to do at that moment of time. Do you have a deadline? Do you have a deadline of when you want to start your thing for your business? Do you have a deadline of when you need to go and do whatever it is for your school? Do you have a deadline of when you're trying to do what you need to do for your ministry or for whatever that might be? Do you have a deadline, or are you just going with the wind? Whenever it happens, it happens. No, we need to make sure that we're taking the time to build with a plan. So lay out your plan even as you go through your day on today. Write down what things do you want to accomplish? What things do you want to get done today? And make sure that you have a plan of attack of how to be able to do that, as well as making sure that you go back and make sure, did I accomplish the things that I planned on doing today? Now, if you're just getting started in this, don't plan a whole lot. Start off very simple, very easy for your own self, so that you can continue to build some form of consistency. If you are a person that already has a plan, go back, look at your plan again, and make sure that it's accurate and is detailed for everything that God is calling you to be able to do. So thank you today for coming on to Transformation Tuesdays, and I pray that this was able to transform your mind, transform your heart, so that it can eventually transform the way that we live. Continue to be blessed, and I will see you next time right here on Transformation Tuesdays. Talk to you later.